How's it going, guys? It's that time of week again. Alright, so a few interesting things have happened since last time I recorded one of these. And I've got to get back into the groove of it because it's been a little while. One thing you may notice is I have a new setup. Different lighting and stuff. Still trying to get it worked out. But I did some stuff before I started recording, trying to get it to work. But, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Anyway. Enough dilly-dallying. Another thing you may notice is I have a little bit of... Where is it? There, like, some acne type stuff going on. It's because I ate chocolate. I don't care what anybody says. Like, they say food doesn't cause acne, but it does. If it doesn't cause it, it at least, you know, opens the gates. Anyway, so I think it was actually on the last, Cynic slog. The last first Cynic slog, the last one that I recorded. You know, I got a couple of comments on there. You may have seen it yourself. If you're watching this one, then you may have watched the first one. And if you didn't, then you're missing out. Big time. So I got a couple interesting comments, and they weren't related to the video. They were actually related to the fact that someone had stolen one of my Minecraft animations. And I went and checked it out, and it was true. So, there's that. It happened. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about that today, because it's actually been something I've dealt with in the past. Not even, I'm talking about like pre-YouTube stuff. You know what I mean? Like before YouTube was even like a big thing or even around at all. I used to make machinima. Some people like to call it machinima, but it's machine cinema. And originally everybody called it machinima until machinima.com came along and they switched owners, and then they started calling it machinima, and then that's when it blew up. Oops, I bumped the mic. And then everybody started calling it machinima, and I was like, what the hell? Why did I do this? Point is, I used to make machinima, and there were at least 2 occasions where one of my videos got stolen, and this is along with other people's. Alright? Had a hard time figuring out the words for that one. So, the first time it happened, it was just like some kids, you know, they started up like one of those free forums you get online. They wanted to make machinima, and they went and found what they thought were several like good ones, chopped the credits off and like made it like they had done it and everything. And then voila, we have amazing videos, and we just started, which is very rare. Like usually you don't do anything very good when you first start. Everything I've done sucks. And it was even worse when I first started. I happened upon it, somebody did, and like there was a kind of a forum, everybody that was in the ring that I used to, you know, the circle that I used to be involved in, and everybody kind of jumped on them and got that kind of taken care of in a very rather dramatic fashion. But anyway, what's worse is the next time that I can recall anyway, that I think it was the exact same video that got stolen. Was a guy who was actually trying to make money on it. He was offering to like edit people's videos and stuff, and he had taken a few different videos, and mine being one of them. This guy didn't even edit them. He didn't even like chop the credits off or anything. Like my username was in the credits of the video, and he said that that's who he was. So I guess, I don't know if he did it to other videos. He would have to say he's whoever, you know, made that video too. Anyway, and he was trying to charge people for editing and using other people's work as an example of what he was capable of. So that was pretty bad. I ended up messaging him on AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, if anybody remembers that thing, and kind of posing as someone who might want him to do some work. And eventually I revealed that I was the guy who made the video, and then he made it out that I was like a poser and stuff, and he ended up blocking me. So yeah, I have a little bit of a history with this kind of stuff, and so it's happened again, or it did happen again, and a couple of people, I don't have it up right now to give the usernames, but if you go back to that video, you'll see. There's only 2 comments on it, and yeah, I'm so popular. But anyway, there was a couple of friends, I guess, and they both wanted to make sure I knew what happened. How they figured it out, I don't know, unless they found the kids and then saw that mine was in the suggestion. Anyway, point is, they let me know, so I went and checked it out, and I saw that it was, and the kid did the thing that the other kids did back in the day. He cut the credits off, and it was pretty bad, because he actually made, like, a story in the description about how long it took him. It was, like, apologizing for it not being the best quality, and saying that the skin in it wasn't his skin, and he was trying to make it look like something else, and all this stuff as if he had made it, and it was pretty terrible. It was pretty sad. Like, you want to just kind of let somebody off the hook, but when they go that far, it really shows intent, and that was unfortunate. But I decided, I did look at the, YouTube report function, and it was kind of scary, and it seemed like a big action to take. From what I could tell, it was just a kid trying to start a channel and stuff, so I just left him a comment with some advice. I just told him that, it's not a good way to try to do stuff, and it's hard to steal stuff on YouTube when the stuff that you're stealing is linked in the suggestions for other videos you might like. The original upload is actually still there. So I just thought I'd talk about that. If you're trying to start a YouTube channel, and this does not come from anyone who's successful, obviously, I'm not successful yet. Anyway, don't steal other people's work. Even if you think it's going to get you noticed, people are usually going to figure out that someone else made it. And, if they do, then you're going to lose everyone who followed you, pretty much, unless you really have some compelling stuff to keep them there and they are willing to forgive it. But even if they don't figure it out, then your stuff probably isn't going to be on par with the stuff you're stealing. First of all, like, if you're just beginning, then you're probably not going to be able to replicate it. Your quality's not going to be as good. But even if your quality was as good, it might be like a different style in a different way. You can kind of tell the spirit is different, and you're not going to be able to maintain the vibe that you set with the stuff that you stole. And you're not going to learn anything from it. It's not going to help you. It's just a bad practice all the way around. And it's obviously, even if it was all good and if it worked perfectly and you got everything, fame and fortune and ladies or guys or whatever, at your side, then you didn't earn it. It wasn't your work. Is it really worth starting something based on a lie? That's it. That's all I gotta say about that. It was just an interesting occurrence, and I thought I'd talk about it, and because it's kind of a thing, and it's not good to steal stuff in person or digitally. All right, so with that dealt with, it's that time of the week again, and you know what time that is?
Cynic's Inner Thoughts.
Was that good? Was that a good way to do that? Anyway, today I wanted to talk about, I had the idea. It's something I've thought about doing for a while, and I never did. And today I thought I'd try it. I want to talk about complainers. Do you know one? Does anybody out there have a complainer that they know? Someone who just complains about everything? So I thought I'd talk about that. Because it happens. Maybe it's not somebody who's a bona fide complainer, but somebody who just kind of tends to be on the negative side and always look for the negative things to talk about or to see in something. So here's the thing. If you know a complainer, or if you are a complainer, we're going to address them from both sides, okay? And I'm not saying I'm really not that much of a complainer. I tend to kind of delve into the negative side and, of course, the cynical side and the pessimistic side of things, which, I try to kind of turn it into humor when I can, but some days it's not as easy, and it's just going to be what it is. So, it happens. But here's the thing. Now, I'm going to address this as though I'm talking to a complainer. And if you are someone who knows a complainer, then you kind of reiterate to them or whatever if you want. But anyway, if you're a complainer, here's what you usually do. All right? Something comes along. It could be good or bad. Sometimes people are bad enough off with their bias to complaining or bias to negativity that they actually don't even recognize when something's good, which is really unfortunate. But whether it's good and they can't see it, or if it's more or less neutral, or even siding somewhat to the bad, that's what they'll latch on to, Can't be satisfied, never happy with anything, nothing ever goes my way. and all this kind of stuff. And I'll admit, I've felt that way a lot, and I complain about it too, but usually I try not to let it get to me, and I'll try to just push on. Anyway, you just have like bad days and stuff, and you just move on. But there are people who seem to be kind of chronic complainers, and that's just, it kind of like gets them stuck in the mud. They don't want to move. They're just like, I'm stuck here, everything's terrible, what do I do? They want something to come along and change everything so that they'll feel better about everything. But the thing is, if you're that way, then usually the problem exists in your own mind. So if something does come along and change and makes everything better, you're gonna find things to complain about and things to not be happy with even then. You know the saying of like, if everyone's the problem, then you're the problem? And that's pretty much the same thing, whether you're complaining about people or circumstances in your life or things that happen or whatever. If everything goes wrong, if everything is a problem, then probably, I'm not going to say 100%, you know, everybody's got their own situations, but probably you're the problem. And it's not to say that you are a problem, it's that you're making everything a problem. I'm just being real. Real. I thought I could figure out a rhyme and it didn't happen. If you decide when something happens that you're going to go into like pity party mode or just complainer mode, like, of course it would happen to me, or something that you could possibly even see as a good thing, you turn into a bad thing just because it's not exactly what you think it should be. Sometimes I think it's kind of a deep issue where it's not really quantifiable that something's good or bad. Like, it's just, somebody's just going to be negative about it. And yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You got to try to find a way to be content, because that's where it comes from, is inside. You know, you can't just get stuff and be content with it. Like, it's always got to be from you. It's got to come from within you to find contentment and happiness with the things that you get out of life. Because chances are you're not going to get what you think you deserve or what you think you want. You can work hard, you can try to get it, and maybe you'll get lucky, which I think is a big part of it a lot of times. But if you don't, you have to figure out what's important to you and what it is in life that you're really happy about and what it is you want to achieve, and be realistic about it. Not that, you know, if I never get a Lamborghini, I'm never going to be freaking happy. That's just not how it works. All right, you got to be realistic about your circumstances, your environment, what you can do to change them and make them better, and then what you can expect to achieve or get as a result of those changes. Or if you can't change anything, like, you have to figure out a way to be happy with what you have and or what you can get realistically and in a appropriate and reasonable amount of time. You can't expect great things to come instantaneously all the time. Not everybody is that lucky, but some are. And if you are, then great. But not everybody is, unfortunately. Basically, what I'm trying to say, the point of this is, life is hard enough. All right? You got acne, you got people stealing your videos, something's going to happen in your life. And it's hard enough as it is. If you make it harder, then what are you doing? You only got one life. You're only going to live once. I don't know why I'm talking like this at this point, but the point is that you are only going to live once, right? This is all you get. And if you complain about everything that is real in your life because you're expecting some imaginary idea to come along and make everything better, then you're wasting what you have, all right? Don't waste it. Try to find some way to make it better or make it positive. Even if you can't change anything in your life or your circumstances, look at what you got and try to find the value and the worth that it has, and stop devaluing, stop demeaning everything, because you only got what you got and you can only get what you get, and it's up to you to make the most of it. So stop being a complainer and stop being a baby. All right? That's it for Cynic's Inner Thoughts. That was my thoughts of the week, and I guess that's going to be the end of this video. This one turned out a little bit longer than the other one, so that's cool. I don't know if I should go for shorter or longer videos. That's it. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was insightful and interesting and stuff, which it probably wasn't. But if you want to see more, let me know. in the comments and or by subscribing, liking, things like that. That's it for me. Have a great week, and hopefully I'll have something interesting to talk about next week again or something.